Hi. I meant to do that. Right, I've got to move quite quickly, all right? So I'm going to skip the bit at the beginning where I'm all self-deprecating and it makes you like me more. So, okay, yeah, I'm fat, I smell. Now, got to get on with things, okay? I've done a show before, Edinburgh show, where I review things, okay? So I'm going to share, I'm going to do a review with you today. I've got 3 daughters at home, which means I have seen the movie Frozen about 400 times. So let's review that movie, okay? Disney have had a history of really having bad role models for women. Yeah, they're princesses. They just kind of taught women that you just were waiting for your prince, that you didn't actually have to do anything, that the best thing you could hope for was to get, married to somebody successful. It was ridiculous, right? So along comes Frozen. This is the movie that's going to break the cycle. This is going to bring princesses right up to date to the 19th century, but baby steps. So let's run this down. Okay, and I'll talk through all the different lessons that girls like my daughters can learn from this movie, okay? So we open with a catastrophically world-class parenting fail, okay? Because in a castle that is full of servants and nannies and gardeners and guards and all the rest of it, and even knowing that one of their children can conjure daggers of ice from thin air, they somehow allow their children to play unsupervised. Right? When one of them becomes unsurprisingly mortally wounded, instead of going to the doctor, they take her to some kind of random faith healer or alternative therapist in the forest. You know, the sort of person that thinks they can cure everything by just wafting spring water over some bark or realigning your chi. Right, and these quacks tell them that what they'll need to do is to take their daughters home, and on the advice of these people, they decide to keep one of them in isolation and then tell her, this is the first lesson, okay? So Disney says, ladies, that you should not actually express yourself or your individual personality, otherwise bad things will happen, people will judge you, and you will be shunned by society. Okay, that's lesson number 1. That's a great lesson, thanks, Disney. They say to the other child, by the way, the little red-headed one, well, we don't really need to bother with you that much, but no one will play with you, and we can't tell you why. Brilliant. So, flash forward 10 years, right? And our 2 princesses now emerge unprepared onto a world with a series of devastating psychological and mental illnesses from their isolation. Right? We have Princess Anna, who is so psychologically damaged that she decides that she's going to marry the first prince that she meets. Okay, now Elsa, right, she doesn't like this, but she's no more socially advanced or socially aware than her sister is, so I can only presume that her reason for disliking it is jealousy. Right, but they are both barking up the wrong tree because Prince Hans of the Southern Isles is gay. Now... Oh, no, he is. Right, let's go to the end of it because I feel like I need to explain that, okay? When we get towards the end of the movie, Prince Hans explains how he wants to be sort of king and all the rest of it. Now, what he actually has at that point in front of him is a beautiful woman, a beautiful woman who is funny and charming and completely naive, which means if he married her, he'd actually be able to get away with shit like, oh, no, honey, all women do it. That's how their husbands know that they love them. Right? He's got that right in front of him. Also, Elsa's out of the picture by then, so once he marries her, he gets to be the de facto king, right? And all he has to do to get all of that stuff is to kiss a woman, and he will not do it, okay? It's fine. He's gay. Okay? Not the first gay character that Disney have ever had, by the way. They're quite progressive with that. Jafar from Aladdin. Obviously. Scar from The Lion King. Prince John from Robin Hood. Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, massively overcompensating. Right, here comes another lesson from Disney's Frozen. Okay, Queen Elsa has a massive hissy fit, which causes a sort of devastating natural disaster within Arendelle because Disney says women obviously can't control their emotions, can they? It's lesson number 2. Right, she disappears off, but this is a modern Disney movie, so it is not the handsome prince that goes after her. It is, in fact, Princess Anna, who's dead capable, and off she goes riding on her horse. She runs in at this point into a really quite offensive Nordic stereotype. And she also runs into our second love interest, because although, lesson number 3, although she is very capable and handy and can do all these things, she still needs a man to show her the way. So, meanwhile, Queen Elsa is up in the mountains. She is belting out the next generation's massive anthem of just not giving a shit. Right? 3 minutes. 3 minutes of, like, soaring vocals on 0 fucks given. Teaching all the girls once again that if you do want to express yourself and be an individual, then just be prepared to be really harshly judged and cast out. She also, during this time, manages to effectively give birth to a snowman with significant learning difficulties, and which she takes absolutely 0 responsibility for, which is not only some kind of really sad allegory for teenage pregnancy, but also lesson number whatever 4. That just shows us exactly what kind of woman would do the things that she does. The kind of woman that would abandon her children. Right, moving on. We better move on quite quickly when we finish up. So, basically, what happens? Anna goes to see her sister, gets twatted again. She has to go to see the faith healers again, who basically try and marry them off without them even sort of knowing about it. Like, these guys are like wise for some reason, and Anna's like an Iranian on a summer holiday, and like being married off, whatever. We got to move quickly. And then there is this massive action sequence at the end, okay? A bloke rides on a reindeer. I'm not even sure that's possible. Even less possible than that, the reindeer runs as fast as a horse. Even less possible than that, a sword shatters on a block of ice. Even less possible than that, a woman who is frozen, solid, thaws out with no ill effects whatsoever. And somehow, none of that is harder to believe than the fact that a woman who up until this point has been conjuring things from ice can now conjure a fucking evening dress. Right, and then let's just move on to our final lesson and finish this up. Okay, we come to the end of all this. Okay, Prince Hans turns out that he's a rumman, he's a baddie. You may have noticed that all of the gay Disney characters I talked about were all baddies. Not got time to go into that, but have a word, Disney, know what I mean? What's your problem, right? And the final lesson is that at the end of it, Princess Anna steps up, pushes the man out of the way, and punches Prince Hans overboard, leaving him, as far as she's concerned, to drown, which gives us our final lesson, which is that independence and strength in women will inevitably lead to mindless bloody violence. So, to finish that up, what is my score for Disney's Frozen? I give it 5 stars out of 5, because it's a good movie with some nice songs. Don't take everything so seriously. I've been Kevin Berry. Goodbye.